We all do it. The allure of this little device is almost impossible to resist. You hear a message ping and most of us can't resist diving for our phone no matter where we are. So when is it right and when is it inappropriate to be a slave to our phone? Well, etiquette expert Sharon Schweitzer is back to help us out. Sharon, it's been a while. We're so glad to see you, though. How are you?
Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you, Natalie?
I am great. Thank you for coming in today and talking about this, because this is a debate in our house right now. My toddler already knows how to pick up the phone and kind of does one of these like swipey things with it. And then I yell at my husband because I'm like, it's your fault. You're on the phone too much. I know a lot of families are having this debate, so please help us out.
Well, this is a national cell phone courtesy month.
Okay.
So this is something they started to kind of bring awareness once a year for these exact reasons, exactly what you're describing, because we all get busy with our lives. We don't think about it. So once a year they do cell phone courtesy month. And it's a way for us to stop and think about, what are my habits? What am I doing? What are my children picking up? And so we kind of came up with 3 ways to look at it. Are you using your cell phone or your smartphone during meals, meetings, or meaningful moments? And if you are, maybe you want to stop and think, should I be doing that? Am I loving the one I'm with? Because, right, we're supposed to love the one we're with.
And not be dedicated to the phone. Well, I love the M's. You can ask anybody on our show. I love a good alliteration. So you're working with the M's. What's the first one? And let's dive into it a little bit more.
Okay, meals. So whenever you have a meal, whether it's a social meal or a business meal with family, put the phone on silent or stun, whichever you prefer, and tuck the phone away, because if you put it up on the table, it looks like the phone is more important than the people you're dining with.
Oh, that makes sense. So go ahead, silent that. Meetings, I would think this was a no-brainer.
You would be surprised at the number of people who will come into a meeting and hold the cell phone down here and look at the cell phone while they're listening to the meeting, looking around, and then...
Is that what happens at our weekly meetings? I don't know. I'm looking around here. Okay, so that obviously, don't hide that. You don't want to get busted. So silent, same kind of thing?
Yes. And a lot of folks now, what they'll do is they'll say, we're going to check the cell phones. We're going to keep this meeting to 45 minutes. We're going to make it quick. No cell phones.
Hey, easy enough. And then I think this is maybe the most important, meaningful moments.
Yes, like dates.
That would be one I would think, but the date must not be going well if you're checking your phone.
Maybe not. Apparently not. But it's so important to do that, because face-to-face interaction and communication is really important. And what we're finding is that up to 30% of young people are defaulting to the cell phone as a way to get out of uncomfortable situations.
Which maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing on some of those bad dates out there, but you do say there are some exceptions that I want to make sure we point out.
They're right. That's right. There are some exceptions. If you're a first responder, if you're a physician or a nurse and you're on call and you've got to have that phone with you. Let's say you're also a new mother and you have an infant and you are out and about. You want to be able to have that cell phone in case you get a call. Or if you are a son or daughter and you have a parent with a caregiver, you're going to want to get that phone call. The other thing that, the other exception is, let's say you and I were driving somewhere. We want to be able to get that telephone and say, okay, here are the directions, and set it for the map. So you're going to have some exceptions, but for the most part, you want to be able to enjoy time with people one-on-one.
And I do want to ask, so how's the balance between having your phone for those meaningful moments, but being ready to capture pictures, since we all do it in one? Any tips for that if you're like the picture taker?
Well, a really good tip would be to ask, would this be an all right time to get a photo? Or wait until everyone finishes. Either do it right at the beginning or right at the end. That way you don't interrupt the flow of the meal or the event.
That's good. That's good. And of course, you always got to have the phone down when it comes to driving, we want to point out. Sharon, where can people go for more information if they want to maybe share the things we've learned today with their significant other, as my case might be? Where can people go?
Well, people can go to my website, which is SharonSchweitzer.com, or they can also look for my book, which is available at Amazon.com.
Good stuff. So put the phones away, folks. We'll be right back.